up here. Just give me 1 second, we'll get started. Already I see VA3JPX out there. Kilo 9 Whiskey Zulu. Kilo 5 X-Ray Delta Delta. Victor Alpha 2 ONE. See them out there. And we're going to see what's going on there, okay, folks? Just give me 1 more second to see if this is going to be... Okay, I see there. I can see that there is audio out there. Okay, tonight's topic. Thank you everybody for being out here. I think there's ham something going on. I saw a few messages saying ham, like a ham fest is going on, some part of the world here. And I see that there are a couple of people saying, oh, this machine, and this machine came out. Now, VA3JPX and I have been in the computer industry for a long time. I don't know about him, but when something comes out, I'm never the first one to get it. I always wait until the all the patches and stuff are coming out. So that's the nice topic. The nice topic is, do you go out and get the stuff right away? Anything, the latest and greatest of anything. Do you go out and get any of the latest and greatest right away, or do you wait? Also, I'm using NetLogger. If anybody, you can go in and check out NetLogger there, and I'll be putting everybody there in the NetLogger as we go along. So we got James in there first. Come in and say what your name is, how long you've been a ham, and then we can go on with the topics of the day. Go ahead, James.
Hey, good evening, Ernest, and everybody on Nets. I've been away for a few weeks. Um, I haven't been away. I've been here. I just find myself going to bed early, and I just, for me to take part in the Nets, I'm just too tired. I know it doesn't take much, but I'm too tired. But tonight I'm up a little later, so here I am. Do I get the new things? We'll call it. No, I don't. I tend to wait, mainly because I only buy things if I need them, and a lot of times, if I do want something or I need something, I do my research first, and generally I like to wait a little while. Too many bugs in a lot of new hardware, especially in amateur radio, and normally the manufacturers need a good 6 months lead time to fix anything that the user base might notice with the product. And same thing goes for technology, whether it be computers. I mean, it's 2025. I mean, I just upgraded my computer system here about 4 months ago, and it's only 6 cores with 12 threads. So it just goes to show there's much faster stuff out there. I just don't need it, and I'm happy with what I got. That's it. Back to control. VA3 JPX.
VA3JPX. VA3JPX in the group. VA3EWV returning. Yeah, get it if you need it. I'm still sporting, and I know it's around here somewhere. I'm still sporting my iPhone 6 Plus. Yep, still have the iPhone 6 Plus. I think they have the iPhone whatever out now. I still have my original MacBook Air. I have my original iPad Pro, and some things I cannot update, and on my iPhone 6 Plus I cannot do YouTube Live because the app is not there. So that's why I don't do YouTube Live, because I'm too cheap to go get another phone. And phones are ridiculous now. They won't, like, thousands and thousands of dollars for a phone. Get out of here with that. Okay, so we heard from VA3JPX. Nope, and he's gonna wait for the updates to come out. That's what I'm talking about. Oh, and if you guys don't know who I am and you're just joining, because I do see some new things out here. My name is Ernest. I am Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor. I am from St. Andrews, West Ontario. Been a ham for 2 years. Just celebrated January 17th, 2 year anniversary. And yeah, just enjoying the hobby. But I started on my iPhone 6 Plus. That was my first radio. So it was tried and true by the time I put all the apps on it. Okay, the next person I see out there is Kilo 5 X-Ray Delta Delta. Let us know your name, how long you've been a ham, and do you get the latest and greatest straight away or do you wait? Back over to you.
Good evening to you, Ernest. This is K5XDD. The name is Dan, and I'm coming to you from South Louisiana. First time checking on the net. Fairly new ham. Just got my license, I guess, mid-October. Got my technicians, and then went back a few weeks later, got my general, and been really enjoying diving into the hobby. As far as the topic, I normally wait for a couple reasons. One reason is let the sticker shock price kind of come down off of something new. Also, I like to read reviews and like to, I believe it was James said, kind of let them work out some of the bugs. But I like to read reviews from somebody that likes it, and then I like to read reviews from somebody that doesn't like it, and then I kind of base my assumption somewhere in the middle. Thank you for taking the call. Ernest, back to you, Net Control.
Well, I tell you, I really appreciate that. Yeah, let that old sticker shock. That's what I'm talking about. You have to let the sticker shock get out of there. That's for doggone sure. But you know, regardless of whatever's happening out in the our world today, I bought my Anytone D578 UV Plus from a Silent Key. Love the guy to death, Renee Champlain. There, he was big in the DMR. That's all he talked about. Anyway, I bought my first DMR radio, and he's like, "This is the Cadillac of the radios, bro. It's got a 3-speed automatic and da 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 da." And I'm telling you, it's gonna be worth more in a year than I'm selling it to you for you now. So he sold it to me for $450, taxes in. And I'm like, yeah, you know, he's my pal and all. He's a member of the club and stuff. And I'm like, yeah, they say stuff just to make a sale. So if anybody's in front of the net that can let us know what a D578 UV Plus 3 costs right now, let me know if it's over $450 there. And that radio just made a year old. Okay, so we just got through talking to VA3JPX. If you're just joining us, K5 X-Ray Delta Delta. We do have a repeater that's connected to us. There in Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. Spruce Grove, Alberta, Canada. But before I go there, are there any short time check-ins? Because you know I get long in the tooth there. Anybody have to check in and out? Please come now. Okay, good. That means we can keep the party rolling.
Quebec 4, Sierra Bravo, Foxtrot, Mobile, in and out.
Kilo Quebec 4, Sierra Bravo Foxtrot. I know you're in and out. If you can just tell us quickly what your name is and stuff like that, then we can get on your way there. But we're glad to have you in here.
Yes, sir. KQ4SBF. I am Deano from Tampa, Florida. Actually out and about grabbing food for the family and about to hunker down for the night, but it'll be another half hour or so.
Well, thank you for being out there. And hitting us up on the mobile. That's pretty great. Go grab the food. We should still be out here because there's always 2 rounds. There's the first round of me just doing the topic of the week there. And then the next round is just me wanting to know what everybody's doing for the weekend and for the upcoming week. Thank you for being out there for the in and out. Any other in and outs, please come now.
VA2ONE.
Okay, net recognizes VA2ONE. Come on in. Let's have your name. And if you want to chime in on the topic of the day, please come on in.
All right, name here is Andrew, Victor Alpha 2, Oscar, November Echo. I'm actually in the process of redoing my ham shack tonight. Well,
Precision Ham Shack and Laser Engraving Studio. Put it that way. Anyway, I just wanted to hop in and say hello, but I do have my hands full. Yeah, I'm going to be listening in for a bit. Topic of the day, I do tend to wait. More than one reason on that there. Sometimes, you got some bugs when it first comes out. And then, I like to be I like to be on the second or third revision if I can help it. So that's kind of it. I'm still rocking a desktop from 2013, 2014, HP Z440 workstation. Running some offline large language models on that thing due to the big RAM and a couple of extra video cards there. So, I like to wait. It's just being careful. If you ever want to do a HFNet, let me know. All right. Hand it back to my controller, and thanks for having me.
Okay, yeah, you had me laughing there. I don't even know what this HP is. I'm sure it's ages old, and I got fed up because I'm trying to do this YouTube thing on Friday nights, and every time it keeps saying, "Hey, it's falling apart because there's not enough memory," and it only had 8 gig of memory, but it could be upgraded to, I forget, whatever, 128 or whatever. And I got 264 things of RAM, and asked my son to put it in there. And the old girl is just blazing fast. I was like, wow. He said, yeah, you get you a solid state hard drive. You don't know what to do with yourself. Anyway, thanks for being there. Glad you're getting the Ham Shack. Look, we do take pictures on our Facebook page. If you want to throw some before and afters of the Ham Shack, we'll sure be, I'm nosy. So just feel free to put them up there. Thank you so much. Okay, and I like the call sign there. We got VA3ONE in the log. We got you in there. Okay, we've taken calls from VA3JPX, K5XDD, Kilo Quebec Force, SBF, VA2ONE, and did we hear from VE3TBI yet? Go ahead. Okay, let's see who else out there. Okay, anyone out there on the VE6IDK repeater, please come now. Okay, nothing heard. I think we have gotten everybody. Have I missed anybody before I go back to the top? Okay, so thank you so much. Andrew also says hello out there. We also have that just joined us, Yankee Charlie 2, Delta Oscar Papa. Yankee Charlie 2, Delta Oscar Papa. The question of the week is, do you get stuff brand new day one, anything? I know that the Ham Fest is going on, I think in Florida maybe, and I saw some people posting some new radios up, and they're saying they're going to be getting it on release day. Do you wait? Or do you get it right away? Quick little haha. I forget what the radio is, but it's one of those portable, QRT radios, and it was supposed to have all these features, and it was shipping, and half the features it was supposed to have, it didn't even, it wasn't shipped with it. So you have to watch out for that. Okay, Yankee Charlie 2, Delta Oscar Papa, come on in.
Thank you very much for picking up. First of all, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Ari Alpha Romeo Yankee, and I'm transmitting from Indonesia. And I believe it is evening time, maybe in your area. It's my morning time. It's Saturday morning in Indonesia. Well, talking about radio. Actually, just having a very old radio, especially for itself. Just very old radio, one and only I have. And I do like making communication through the radio to find any other friends all over the world. They're using this actually. It makes me possible to have it. Back to you, this is Yankee Charlie to the AllStar Bravo.
Yankee Charlie 2, Delta Oscar Papa, VA3EWV returning, and I want to let you know that you're our first long distance DX station since I've been doing this little net. I started this about a year or so ago because I was using EchoLink and AllStar. I did not pass the test to get my HF privileges, so I only had my basic, and I wanted to get out and talk to the world, and someone told me about EchoLink, and that's what I started talking on EchoLink there. So thank you for being out there and making this a fun day for us. Thank you so much. Okay, we're back to the top of the list there with VA3JPX. James, come on in and say hello before you have to go off to the night there. VA3JPX, what you doing for the rest of the week? Preston,
Yeah.
shut the door. Shut the door.
Yeah, okay, Ernest. Well, we got a couple of appointments that we have to go to this week. So we'll be doing that. And just getting back to the topic, you said you have an iPhone 6, and my first cell phone, well, smartphone, my first smartphone was actually a hand-me-down from my wife. I think it's an iPhone 5, and I really, really liked that phone. Problem is that it's too old, and Apple doesn't issue any updates for it. I'm stuck with it, and it is what it is. So none of the apps that I want to use will work on it. So unfortunately, it's sitting here fully charged, but I can't use it for much of anything. And same with my iPad. Back in 2012, I bought an iPad, fourth gen iPad, and this thing has been fantastic. But I can't use it for anything because none of the apps that I need will run on it because it's too old of an OS, and Apple does, they refuse to upgrade it. So I got this mint condition iPad that I can't do anything with. It's so frustrating. But I have other computers and devices and things that are quite old, that all you do is an old computer, you put an SSD hard drive in it, get rid of the mechanical hard drive, and it just brings it right back to life. So I've got a couple of those machines. Anyway, that's it for me. Sorry for being so long-winded. It's been a few weeks, but here I am, and I will be clear and signing off after your final Ernest. Back to net control for VA3 GPS.
VA3JPX in the group, VA3EWV returning. I know how you feel. I was showing the camera my iPhone 6 there. It still has the Facebook app that works. I can use YouTube, but in the browser. Because, like other things, they keep upgrading. And sometimes they stop, the app developers stop doing upgrades. It says you have to have a certain OS. So I've been plugging along with this, and and I also love the iPhone 5. It fit right in the palm of my hand. It looked like a Tic Tac box because my hands are so big. But the only reason I upgraded to the iPhone 6 Plus is because the iPhone, they wouldn't. It was a 3G, and the company I was with said you just can't use it on our network. So that was that. So all of a sudden I was on the iPhone 6 Plus, and I'm going to use it until they tell me the same thing, and then I'll go on to something else. But all my Apple technology is just humming along. But yes, the upgrades and stuff now are slowing down, and that's just how it is. But I don't know. I don't want to go spending money on stuff like that. I mean, for what I spent for those, and I have them now 9, 10, 12 years later, it's like it's worth it. But nowadays, it seems like everything is disposable, so I can't see spending almost $2,000 on a phone or getting in some contract. Okay, James, have a good one. Make sure you post some of that good old food you'll be putting on the web, and we'll hopefully see you in the weeks to come. 7-3 to you.
All right, 7-3.
Okay, let's pick it up. Keep it going with VA2, the one. VA2ONE. So we've talked about your technology as you get it, you don't get it. What are you doing for the rest of your week, for the weekend there, over? If I'm not mistaken, VA2ONE is redoing his ham shack, so we'll let him go with that, and we'll pick it up with Kilo 5 X-Ray Delta Delta. Come on in.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I had a pretty busy week. Uh, about a 4-day work week. Was off today, and my project for today was, like I said, I'm fairly new to ham, but I had some CB experience about 10 to 15 years ago at the place I grew up. My parents' old house, they had since sold it, but I had a 65 foot tall Ron 25 tower with a 7-element 11-meter beam.
What?
And I went and talked to the people, and they agreed to let me take the tower down, so that's what I worked on today. We used a truck and a side-by-side, some ropes and snatch blocks, and climbed up in a tree, and instead of taking it apart piece by piece, I've probably gained about 80 pounds since the 15, 20 years that I put it up piece by piece, and I wasn't too crazy about climbing up there and taking it down piece by piece, so I was able to rig some ropes up and control lower it to the ground with a pickup truck.
That's what
And
I'm
I just
talking
cut it
about.
off at the base and left a little angle on one side and laid it on down. Had a few bent elements when the beam touched the ground. My plan is to erect it within the next 3 or 4 weeks at my residence where I live now, and to try to convert the 11-meter beam to a 10-meter beam now that I have my ham license. I'm thinking it's going to be possible. Just going to take some measuring and tuning and a lot of hard work. As far as next week, not too sure. Hopefully working towards getting the tower up, but appreciate the time. I'm about to have to sign off of here and get to work. I'm on a little night shift tonight. I had to come in. Appreciate it, James. Thanks for the contact. I've enjoyed the net. K5XDD. Thank you.
Okay, well, we appreciate you. We're not going to hold you up there. And I can't wait to see that. That's what it's all about, you know. It's the work involved in it. You know, I was out there today at a Parks on the Air Park, and I have a broken antenna. And then I found another antenna, not the same, but I would anyway, just to get on the air there, I was putting the two side by side on the ground and trying to line them up because I know where the measurements are on the one, and I was able to get the other one to work. You know, believe it or not, I was able to get it to work. No bad SWR, and that's just a part of it. You know, I think that's the fun part. It's taxing, but it's fun. Thank you for being out there, and we hope to see you in the upcoming weeks. K5XDD. We'll see you later. Bye bye.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. And I agree. That's one of the intriguing parts of the hobby is working on stuff and building stuff and modifying stuff. Thank you. 73s.
7-3. I'll send you a link to my Facebook page and my YouTube page there. And wouldn't mind seeing some pictures of the tower in the weeks to come. Thank you so much. 7-3. Okay, we are getting down to the end of the net there. We have VA2ONE and VE3TBI. VA3ONE, if you're there, come on in.
Was that VA2, Victor Alpha 2, Oscar November Echo, or Victor Alpha 3, Oscar November Echo? I'm VA2ONE here, Andrew, in Montreal.
Yeah, Andrew, I'm looking right at the screen too, and it says VA2ONE. I don't know why in the heck I said VA3, but come on in. Come on in.
Hey, no worries, we get that all the time, especially when I work on 40 meters there. Got me a Delta loop outside there. Nice Delta loop for 40, and it works real good on 20 and 10, a bunch of stuff. So sometimes they're like, hey, that Andrew VA3. I'm like, no, it's VA2 anyway. Sometimes I get it, sometimes I don't. No big deal. No harm, no foul. Ham shack's almost finished. Got my laser engraver over in one corner.
Oh,
And I've got
nice.
the 2 radios on the desk. I've got enough desktop workspace for painting and all kinds of stuff. So multi-use ham shack's almost up to speed. Just got to get the computer back up and running, and we should be good and gold. Oh yeah. I remember you saying you don't have your basic with honors, eh? Are you gonna make up for that and get on HF eventually, or what's the plan on that there? And it's back to you.
Yeah, thanks for asking. VA2, the one. I look. No, I just had my basic, and yeah, I was on the EchoLink and stuff like that, and connecting to the local repeater. And then one summer, there was a guy out there burping in and doing all this different stuff, and they decided to change the tone and said it was club members only. And all those people I had been talking to, some are watching the net tonight, like Rebecca, like Devin, all those folks there. They weren't. I wasn't able to talk to them, so it shut me down from the outside world. So me, I get all ticked off, and they're like, well, I didn't let them know I was ticked off, but I was like, this sucks, right? And then I said, well, what am I going to do about it? So I went to go see about getting me a repeater myself. I have 3 acres, right? I had a tower and all this stuff like that I could put up. I'm like, I'm going to go get me a repeater. And they're like, the joke's on you. You had to be an advanced ham to get a repeater. So I signed up for a class with Radio Amateurs of Canada. And I took my advanced. I passed it first try. It took me 7 times to pass my basic. But I was determined. I was, I was just doing the basic just to do it. But then when this came around, I had something to prove, right? So I got my advanced, and in 2 months or a month and a half now, I'm already signed up for CW Ops, and I'll be taking their class. So I have my advanced now, and also I'll be getting my CW here soon. Back over to you.
QSO, congrats on that, man. That's really fantastic. Okay, cool. So I misheard, like I said, I was moving stuff around here, so just half in, half out. So cool. All right, great. Well, then you got your HF. You got anything up for HF at all? I can't remember if I asked on the Facebook group. My goodness. But yeah, let me know. You can do it on Facebook or on here. It's up to you. Just gonna plug in the computer now, so I'm gonna sign out, but I'm gonna keep listening. All right. So. Yeah, but fantastic, really cool. On the CW Ops, I have a couple operators local side over here in Quebec. They'll be down to play CW with you for sure. All right, 7-3, and I'll be clear up to your next, and then I'll just keep listening there. VA2ONE.
Yeah, VA2ONE. I did not say. So you didn't miss it. I just said that I didn't have the basic with the honors. I was just talking about my iPhone 6 there. We do have in November 7, Papa Victor Whiskey. We see you there. Don't go away. I'll be right with you soon there. But anyway, VA2ONE. Yeah, I was talking about my iPhone 6 Plus, and I was using that as my radio, and I was on basic and stuff with that. So yeah, now I have the advanced. The only antenna I have up is the infrared half wave that does 40 to 10, and I've been able to do FT8 on 80 though, with some coercion. So I'm doing 80 FT8, then 40 through 10 to the rest, and I'm pretty satisfied with that for now. Anyway, let you get back to the shack and get the computer up and running there. We're gonna break with you now, and we're gonna pick it up with November 7 Papa Victor Whiskey. We have a topic for today. Since hamcation or ham something is going on, there's a lot of new radios coming out, and the question was, and it doesn't have to be about radios, do you go buy the latest and greatest right away, or do you wait a little while before you purchase? Over to you, N7PVW.
Hello, November 7, Papa Victor Whiskey from Utica, Kentucky, the western tip of the state. I'm about 2 hours north. Nashville, Tennessee. waiting to do some research. I'm just not getting into it. I'm on an HF rig right now, and got my eye on 991A for the shacking box and polar capabilities of that, but I'm also looking at some others. Thanks for hosting on that. I just saw a reminder pop up on Facebook, so I thought I'd jump in here late, better late than never, right?
Hey, look, I appreciate it. You gonna see me. You have me dying laughing there. Uh, I was killing myself laughing. Look, congratulations on becoming a new ham there. Like I was saying to everyone earlier, I just celebrated 2 years in this vast, fun hobby. Yeah, and a lot of some people that I was there with. I was just before you came on, I was telling everybody that my first ham radio was my iPhone 6 Plus, and that's why I still do the EchoLink and AllStar, because I met a lot of people who had big properties and stuff, and now they're living in an HOA, or they're in retirement living, or they're in apartments. There's lots of my friends now that are apartment dwellers, and they live like on the whatever floor that it is, and they have nothing to. Some have a little antenna sticking out on the balcony, but some don't. But if we can get people on the air, we get them on the air. But yes, you have me cracking up. Hey, check it out though. For when I passed my advanced test, 1 second. Excuse me, everybody. I had a big yawn come over me there. But when I passed my advanced, and I didn't even have confidence in myself, but I had studied. I was in a class for 3 months, twice a week, studying with people all across the world. Ham folks, they will come to your rescue. I was doing my math with this guy there. I think it's Tim, and getting me prepared for that. But I passed, and I came in the house because I always fuss at the wife about every time I look around, there's an Amazon truck in her yard, and I'm like, what the heck? So I come in the house. Let me pause for a second. I come in the house and there's this big box there, and I'm like, babe, another box. Like, come on. And she's like, oh no, just bring it up the stairs. And I'm fussing and stuff like that. And then she says, well, go open it for me. I'm like, really? I got to open it too? I got stuff to do. She says, just open it. And I open it up and I'm looking. And I still don't even know what it is, because she has so many different things shipped in so many different boxes and reused boxes. And I'm like, what's this? She goes, it's for you. And it was the 991A radio, the Shack in the Box. So I've been using the knobs off that thing. It's worn in, I can tell you that. I got it, and I already have over 14,000 QSOs. And I got my license in April the 24th, and I think I got the radio in June. They came in June, May or June. So I have I'm working on 15,000 QSOs on that HF rig there. Over.
Hey, roger that. Yeah, I contemplated getting one of those as my first, but I got an FTDX10 about 30 some odd years ago. I had my ham license, but back then, I really didn't do much ham. I actually did free band, and it was on a Cobra 2000 GT.
Oh yeah.
It had uppers and lowers put in it, and I love talking mix. And I thought, well, I've got my phone. I've got a Sonoma XD10 that I'm talking on right now, and a buddy of mine came over and set me up with DV switch. So I have EchoLink, and then I have DV switch for all the DMR. So I thought, well, I'm going to get my HF rig first. And I do love that rig. I mean, I talked this morning to the opposite side of England off it's a inverted V wire antenna on 85 watts, and it's 20 feet in the air. So I mean, I can't complain about that. It's doing what I love to do, was talking far. But I do kind of envy you getting that 991A as your first one. That's a good one to have for sure, with 2 meter and 70 centimeter already in there. Yeah, sounds like you enjoy it, and that's good for me too. So back to you.
Yeah, I've definitely put it through its paces. You're catching me on the rare night. Usually I have the Anytone D578UV plus 3 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That was my first UHF VHF radio, and I used that forever on our little nets here. You know, the local nets on UHF VHF. Excuse me. And tonight I'm actually talking on the HF side of this radio. So it's still stiff on the HF side because I don't use the HF too much on here. But I do use it. I use the heck out of the other part. I've learned so much about that radio just being out in the field. I've had to do on-the-job training in the field. I wish I had too, but I do not. I don't like taking it in and out of the house, but I have to. Because I just know, like, when you're moving stuff back and forth, something's bound to happen. And I hope that it's later than now. But I really enjoy it. It's the only thing I've had, so, you know, I've seen other radios. I was eyeing the ICOM radios. That's what I was looking at. They're very, very pretty to me. But in my area where I live here in Cornwall, Ontario, let me pause. Where I live here in Cornwall, Ontario, we have 8 repeaters, and 6 of them are fusion repeaters. So I was like, well, and then I also was net manager of the club too, and I was like, well, that's not going to do me any good having a D-Star cable radio, no fusion capability, and I live in a town that I just moved to. So I guess my wife heard me talking about that, and her and my friend are the ones who got together and surprised me with this radio. So, and her biggest fear was I wasn't going to use it, but I've showed her. I was speeding down the road tonight trying to get here so I can get on the net from the park. Thanks for being out there, and thanks for sharing that with us. November 7th, Papa Victor Whiskey. And be sure to put any Pope photos or any stories like that you have on the group there. Over.
Hey, Roger, that I sure will. When this information or this invite popped up to come to the net tonight, and kind of, you know, I'm a member of so many groups, it's hard to keep up. So I was like, I'm going to join that real quick, and then I grabbed my other phone and I looked through the group, and I saw that you participated in Winter Field Day, and so did I. I participated with a club, and ironically, I participated on that radio, which was a 991A, and I really liked that. But I saw where you had an award. Where did you go to download that from WRL?
Yeah, glad you asked there. So with the WRL, I can't show it, but I can definitely talk it out. So you go to the WRL page, you go to your profile, right? And you just click on your, where it says my profile there. And once you're on your profile page, mine is on the right there. I can see my picture there. I have a little write-up on it. And then you keep going down. It says featured awards. And then and then I have the Winter Field Day there. And then under that, it says logbook, biography, and then awards. And under the awards, that's something new that they have there. It shows now I'm a top finisher for the Winter Field Day. But, you know, that's in the WRL world, right? Not the real world. So I did 300 contacts. And I was stuck on 15 meters, by the way. Everybody got their pick of what they were going to do. And I got the scraps. And I actually had the most contacts. Because I was on 15. And then all I heard was, well, you're on 15. So I'm like, no, bro. Don't try to play it like that. I was disciplined. I didn't spin the knob. I sat there and call, and that's what happened there. And I'll see if I can get the camera to show for that. Hopefully, I can get the camera turned around there. So there is the. So now under that, they actually have things like first DX contact, how many states you worked, all that stuff. So they're coming along pretty good there to share with that. Back over to you.
Hey, Roger that. Yeah, that was my first contest ever, and when I started doing that and logging it on the Winter Field Day at World Radio League there, it said you can't import any contacts. They all have to be logged through that. Well, I wound up merging my contest log into my regular log. logs shows 0, but I'm going to have to open a ticket and do something about the QSOs that I made during that time there. And be sure to check me out on there. I'm sure you'll like my profile picture since I'm from Kentucky. I thought it was quite fitting.
Yeah, yes, I'll definitely do that. And hey, look, those guys, they're pretty good. I've talked to one of the guys there a couple of times. His name is Andy there. And I actually discovered a couple of bugs. Even had him do a YouTube video with me. So if you go back and look at my YouTube or down the Facebook a bit there, I was actually doing a walkthrough with him because some of the features that because they're always trying to come up with new features, but some of the features were giving me hell in the field, right? So one of the features that a lot of people like is that if you're working parks on the air and someone comes in and they're like, okay, this is November, it actually puts where they are, like it puts, well, here's what it does. It puts the last frequency that they were on and it puts the park that they were in. And that's okay. But when you're doing a pileup like me, you're doing 200 or 300 contacts, I did not notice that it changed the frequency, and I had have my contacts kept changing because anytime somebody did a park to park, the thing would change the frequency because that's one. So I was like, you need to turn that off. What was going on? And like today when I went out, well, let me pause. I have to pause because there are repeaters. I have to pause because there are repeaters attached to this. But like nowadays, when I used to go to a park, I would just stick on one band and that would be it. I would stay and that would be it. But now I go to parks and I start myself at a 6 meter, especially if I have buddies around town that have 6 meter, because I can still work them locally. And then I just do 10, 12, 15. I'll do 40 FT8 only, and then I'll get on 20, find me a spot, and then I'll knock out 150, 250 contacts, right? But since I go up the band like that, it's very if someone's been in another park, that was really throwing off my stuff. So they were actually able to fix some of that stuff though. So if you let them know, they will fix it for you. Over.
But yeah, one from Japan last night, and then one from Argentina today. And when I uploaded those call signs in particular from Japan and Argentina says sorry not found. So I don't know. I mean, I can look those same call signs up on QRZ. That comes in just fine, and of course HRD logbook is my primary log, and it logs directly from HRD over to QRZ. I like the setup of that. I like that it's web-based. And I love being able to see my QSOs on the Mac without having to go pay another subscription service for that. But yeah, once they work the bugs out, I think that's going to really be nice.
Yeah, so what you're seeing is I can actually help you with that too. But before we do, because I don't want you to go away. Before we do, let me just see if there's anybody out there on the Spruce Groove. Okay, nothing heard. Hey, don't go away. November 7th, Papa Victor Whiskey. I just wanted to read some stuff from the Facebook group there. The question of the day was, do you just go out and get stuff straight away? We have Rebecca out there that says, no, I don't buy stuff right off the hop, but I do read reviews and likes and dislikes and operational problems and quirks. So the thing is, are using the stuff right on YouTube. So I always wait to see if YouTube is, I'll wait 6 months or so, see how many videos up on YouTube and see what people are saying, and then I'll figure out my purchase there. But to date, though, I haven't bought anything new without selling something. And I'm running out of things to sell, so I don't know what I'm going to do now. Okay, anybody else want to say anything before I show N7 Papa Victor Whiskey some? Also, I want to make sure we heard from Victor Echo 3 Tango Bravo India. I don't think we've had you come on yet. Over. Okay, well, we got some people working in their shacks and stuff like that and doing a couple other things on the side. We appreciate that. Thanks for being out there anyway. And now that I know that the coach, Patrick there, when you go to the WRL and you're looking at the logbook there, okay, and you go and you click on one of the names. Let me just go there now. Just gonna go to one of my things for today. So if I click on most of these folks here, you know, the Kilo Quebec Forest and this and that and da 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 da, they show up. But when it says, unfortunately, this user is not available, some people are not in QRZ contacts. But some I click on and it will show their profile. Like I just clicked on Kilo Quebec for Mike Victor Whiskey, and it comes up saying he's from the United States, from Georgia, right? But most of the DX contacts, they don't do that. Now I do a lot of FT8 and things like that, and what I've noticed too, a lot of the Japan stations, they rarely have ever, um, uh, rarely have ever. So that's going to be a topic for next time. If you ever come back, it's going to be while you're out there talking to people. If you're not, well, I don't want to say it like that, but with me, I'm trying to go out to do parks on the air to make and reach certain goals, right? And I know that some people just call because they're just having fun and they call, but you know, it'll be cool to like you know, go there to the QRZ or whatever and acknowledge that you're there. Now, if you don't do it because you're in the car on is his own, but now I'm picky. When I do FT8 now, I'm looking first to see if they're call signs or if they work QRZ, because some straight up say they only do log of the world or they only do this or that. So I just don't work them. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't work them. Over to you.
Yeah, roger that. I got a call sign for you to check out sometime on 1 Tango 5 Uniform Foxtrot. Uniform Tango 5 Uniform Foxtrot. I talked to him, or I didn't talk to him. I communicated with his station over FT8 again tonight. And that's the second time I've seen him on there. His call sign W6 slash that UT5UF. So he's operating from wherever grid W6 is. I thought that was a pretty interesting.
I started using World Radio League because I like the map feature. But still to this day, I like the Hammers map feature better because it shows everybody's call sign when you bring up the map, right? You can talk between their call sign or something else. So I just saw that they had some stuff, and you know, I went to that for that. There were some features that I liked. Um, I put stuff in WRL, but I rarely have ever. It just stays there on WRL, right? Because like when I'm using FT8, for example, when I do FT8, I use the WSJTX program, but I also use Grid Tracker to complement that. So when I make a contact on WSJTX, Grid Tracker logs it to log of the just so I can get a map out of it. So I'm not using it. I use it for like a map thing because it's cool to show the map of where you talk to. Now that that UT5UF guy, let me pause right quick. Number one, I was dying laughing because he's out there in one of those caveman suits. That's funny as heck. But I've worked him twice, and he has not validated either. And then I worked him when he was stateside because it says W6. That was the 12th, like just this past Christmas, the 16th of December, and it's just sitting there. And if I put a check mark on the QRZ, and then go actions, and then go request confirmation, it says zero successfully requested. So even though he's on there, this guy's confirming. Over to you.
Roger that. Yeah, that's the same that I've come across him twice now, and he's not confirming either one. I just kind of thought that was interesting. And then the dude in the cave with his radio, when I first saw that, I fell out. And then but I also use a WSDTX with Grid Tracker. I really like that combo, and it, like you say, when you hit somebody's name on there and it pops it up and you can log it, goes over to HRD, Logbook of the World, QRD. And that's the same thing I'm doing with World Radio League, is doing it for the map, because it's a super neat feature. Once they get the integration stuff going on, I think they'll have.
Since I do like Parks on the Air, I always I go with hammers. I always have that up and ready to go, because it's an app. So whether I have internet or not, I still have the app. I have so anyway, I have hammers on the go. I have the WRL ready, and I literally have hammers up in the background. That up too, because like I said, there's been times out there, and I always, like right behind my backpack, I have the old handy pen and paper, because I've been there where the computer has bit the dust, and I still was going on with the pen and paper, and then the pen stopped, but I still was going on because I had an extra one. So you never know. And it was raining that day, and everything else was getting thrown at me. But I got all those contacts in the log. That was one. Remember, one is none and two is one, right?
Right on, yeah. I just now downloaded that Hammers. I'm gonna definitely look into that. Photo's one of the things I want to get into this spring, summer. I really enjoy doing that. Right now, I'm doing as much hunting as I can. Have you heard of that app? And it's a website.
Used it though, but I do know that there's a guy that used to pop up at a park all the time, and I was like, "What the heck?" You're nice and stuff to people and whatever, but when I'm out there and that's the other thing I like about WRL. It tells you how many QSOs you're doing per hour, right? So the Andy guy, when he was doing the video there with me, he was looking at him, and there was like 4 or 5 of us on a Zoom together, not. And I'm telling you, man, I don't play around. I have a 45-minute lunch break that I have at work that let me take my 15-minute along with my 30-minute at the same time. And this is in downtown Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. It's right down from where our version of the Washington D.C. is, right? So I'm in a high-rise building. I come down the stairs. My break does not start until I walk out the front door. So I walk out the front door with camera in hand, recording it live. Federation Park. Set up. Everything's in the backpack. The 991, the battery, and the antenna, and the feed line. It's all in one backpack. I take it out, put it on the little bench thing there, and it takes me about 6 to 7 minutes to get everything set up. I tune the radio, and I talk for 30 straight minutes. I'm on it, and then I have the other time to set. So I have 7 minutes to set up, 7 minutes to break down.
Roger that. That's awesome. I thought I was doing good this morning when I got 6. I'm doing breakfast, so I got a ways to go. I looked you up and subscribed to you on YouTube there, so if you see a subscription from Thunder Ridge, that's me.
Oh yeah, for sure. Thank you too. And you know what? It wasn't always like that. I was just watching other people do it, and I was so scared. My first 2 field days, I did field days in the past, but they hadn't done field days in forever. I forget how many years they said, but it was quite a few, maybe double digits. And then when I came along, I was saying, "Hey, is our club going to do a field day?" And they were like, "Well, you can do it." But remember, I didn't even have I didn't even have an HF at the time. I don't even think I had my basic at the time when the first field day came around. But I sat there for 2 years and just, do you need anything to eat? You need anything to drink? Are you comfortable? I just I couldn't deal with it. And finally, a friend of mine, his name is Bob there, VA3EWV, he invited me to go to a POTA activation with him. And I watched what he was doing, and I was trying not to answer a lot of questions, but I was like, this is pretty cool. And then a little while down the road there, excuse me, another friend of mine named Steve said, "Okay, I'll go with you," and he went with me to the first time. They'll follow you. So if you want to keep it slow, they'll go slow. If you want to speed it up a little bit, they'll speed it up. But here's what you say, yada yada yada. Let's get to it. And then ever since then, I mean, if you are subscribing to the YouTube channel, if you go, I have a Parks on the Air playlist, and there's a couple videos there that show it's just nothing's edited, by the way. There's me with the camera looking up at the floorboard, or I mean looking up at the ceiling, and look at those videos. You'll see the ones, if you just look for the times, you'll see those videos around 45 to 50 minutes. That's me just hammering down setup, everything, and then walking away with 60, 70 contacts. They're over.
Yeah, roger that. What kind of antenna setup do you mainly use for your Parks on the Air? I see one looks like you got one putting up on a little tripod.
50 vertical by Sheligans. It was a little pricey, but I've been very, very happy with it because I did have an infed half wave and I lost it. Can't find it nowhere. But I couldn't use it downtown. Remember, I work downtown in the capital here, and most of the historical sites and stuff like that is very dangerous with the wires, and they don't even allow it. And there's activations that you can see on my to the right of the restaurant in front of a historical site, and people are just walking there and having breakfast. And I have the antenna set up there because it has a small footprint, right? And there are times that I use it without the ground radios, and it still works. It's not the best, but like trying to avoid the trip hazards and stuff like that. But I can tune that thing from 6 meters all the way to 80 meters, right? And I use the heck out of it. It's actually broken right now, and it's not because of it. I kept yanking on it, and I knew I shouldn't have, but I was desperate to get to the next band, and then it came straight out the top. And then when I tried to put it in to take the other piece out, like pry it with the piece that was stuck in there, then it snapped and broke. So anyway, that was on me there. I've ordered a new part for it because you can't buy every part for that antenna. You can buy individual parts. So I just bought the vertical, the telescopic one. You know what? For $30 and $30 shipping, I might as well just get two because it's the same $30 shipping. So I went and ordered two of the verticals to have one as a spare. Over to you.
Roger that. I had a buddy of mine, he sent me a text. I don't know if you've seen them or not, but they're like an aluminum about 3/4 of an inch diameter at the base, and then they're telescopic, so of course they taper all the way up. So I've got that and a ground stake and some radios to put down, and then also bought a MMO magnet mount and adapter in case we want to try some from the car. But I'm really curious to get out there and try it. I've just got all the parts in. The last part came in today, so I haven't been able to try it or test SWR or anything like that on it. But I'm looking forward to getting out there and doing that. It looks like it's going to be a really good hobby.
Having a real good time. I don't get to go out lots, but people think I do. But when I go out, I get high volume QSOs. And then when I go out, I'm very strategic of where I go. Like, for example, I went today, but it took me 2.5 days to plan out where I was going to go, right? Because it's not hard, by the way. You just go to a park and you go. But now that I've done it for a couple of months, Parks on the Air have all these little do for myself. Uh, like when I first started this, I was just talking on 40 meters. That was it, just 40 meters, period, and I didn't budge. And then they told me to go on 20 because that's where all the generals were hanging out. So I did 20 and I didn't budge, right? And now, here I am, almost a year later, and now I'm budging. So there's two things I'm trying to accomplish right now. So for Kilo Park, like 1,000 contacts in a park, Sanctuary, 1,300, High Falls, 1,200, Cooper Marsh, 1,065, Confederation Park across the street from my work, 1,065, Mer Blue, 1,055, Côte de Lac National Historic Site, 365, LaRose Forest, which I went to today, 262, and National Art Center, that's downtown Ottawa too, that's 260. Now those were small numbers because remember standing up, and I was propped up on a trash can, and I was, you know, those trash cans that's got the flat top and the two sides. I was propped up on a trash can and making QSOs there. So anyway, right now, let me pause. Right now, I'm trying to get the Activator 6-pack, which is, it says, have 10 contacts at 6 different parks on 6 meters. So, I have I have 11 6-meter contacts on that. So, that's what I'm doing now. I don't have a lot of QSOs anymore. Like, I'm not doing high volume. I'm just trying to work on those, like, those. And the last thing is the one that says, excuse me. This one is very challenging. It's called Activator N1CC, and you can get the. I'm an activator. I'm an activator at heart. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Have 7 parks out of 10 that I've worked over 10 bands on. So I have 3 more left, and then I'll have and that's a hard one too. Back over to you.
I'd be hard pressed to get 10 without driving a couple of hours. Even though I'm in Kentucky, we used to have one that was like 15 minutes from here, and it went from a state park down to a city-owned, and then now it's private owned, I believe. But when you're doing your POTA activations and you're using you're doing FT4 and FT8, well, what laptop are you taking along for that? Does it fit in the same go bag?
But in that bag, I use a Windows Slate. My wife gave that to me. It was her. I have an iPad, but I don't like using the iPad because I don't like the app. I mean, it's all like a phone stuff. You know. Anyway, um, I use the Microsoft Slate tablet. It's in the very. There's one pouch in the front. There's a main pouch in the middle. There's a 50-foot of coax there in the back. And then in the middle, I put the 991, that battery, forget the brand and whatever, I put the battery. It's a pretty big battery. That goes right beside the 991. And then I have 2 lights because it gets dark around here at 3:30, 4 o'clock, right? So I have the battery and then the lights stacked on the battery. Then I have the 991 right beside the battery. Then I have my Howl headset. It is pretty heavy, but it doesn't matter because I can put that on my back there, and I roll out, and I'm ready. I'm ready to go. I have a go box, one of those go boxes that you see people having, but that thing's heavy itself and it's big. I just like to get the backpack. I set it up on top of something, and then I just squat down, and then I put my arms through it, and then I just stand up and I walk off with it. But remember, I'm going to a place and I'm setting up within 7 minutes. So, because, you know, it's supposed, you know, we're always, this stuff is like you're practicing an emergency, right? So now when I went to set up for POTA the other day, when we were doing that, everybody's like, you know, oh, we're going to go out there and we're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hours to set up and da 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 da. I went out there, I just I'm like, what band do I have now? Oh, you have 15? So I went out there, set it to 15, uh, did the cable out, sat at the chair, sat there, because they all had help, like they all had their little teams. But I sat there and I was just waiting to go. And then when it was go time, I found the spot, and I just stayed in the spot. That's one of the secrets to getting a lot of QSOs. You know, you don't just keep rolling from here to there. You just stay put and you just call out. They're over.
You're right to that. I kind of noticed that this afternoon. I always like to try to get 1 or 2 in an afternoon. Let's see. But so how do you manage your pileups? Like when you're sitting there for a while and you've been modulating that, and guys like me see the waterfall, you know, getting after it over here, and we pull over there, and you've got a big pileup. How's that? Because
No, like the guy Steve there, Victor Echo 3 Mike Hotel, he said to me, he goes, "You control the traffic." It was hard for me to say, CQ POTA, this is Victor Alpha 3 Echo Whiskey Victor, right? Activating Charlie Alpha 9545. That was like really difficult for me. And then you hear the whole swarm of stuff come in, right? Like I just, while we were talking, I loaded up some clips from today, and someone called me, a scammer called me and stopped my video, so it's going to be two videos for today's activation. But getting back to what you're saying, well, I'm like, damn. But I'll say, I'll take the Kilo Quebec 4, go ahead, and there might be two or three, but I'm like, okay, and I'll listen for bits and pieces. And with hammers and with WRL, you start putting the call sign in there, and then if I put in N7PV VV, I'm like, because you'll hear me say on the video, I'm like, is this Brian? And the guy will be like, no, this is Patrick. And I'm like, okay, I got your call sign wrong. Can I have the line, Eastern Ontario? And I'll say 7-3. I don't even listen for them to say 7-3 back, because people will figure out how you do your net, right? Well, not your net, but your activation. So I once I get the call sign, I'm like, you're 5 and 9 or whatever you are, 5 and 5, Eastern Ontario, Canada. Thank you for helping me activate 7-3, and then I repeat, right away say QRZ, right? And been an 11 meter guy. That's where I was the whole time. I love the sugars and the kilowatts and the baby breath and whatever else they come up with. I like that, and I'll go, oh, let's take the sugar, or the saccharin or the sweetener. Over to you.
Roger that. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be fun. It'll be nerve-wracking, but I think it'll be enjoyable. But I want to have to get back out of here and get ready for bed. It's getting kind of late, and I got to get up real early tomorrow morning. Thanks for the info there. I'm sure I'll pick your brain through Messenger and hit you up for some comments on your videos as I go along and watch through those POTA video playlist that you got going on. November 7th, Papa Victor Whiskey.
All right, November 7th, Papa Victor Whiskey. We closed it down tonight. It was a good net, and we'll see you next time down the line. Okay, folks, that was a good net. Let's play one of our POTA songs. Well, we were talking about POTA, so we might as well play a POTA song. How about Park to Park? That's a good one. Let's just do a Park to Park. start signing off, saying 7-3 to everybody. Want to go say bye to everybody, Preston? And you should have had your little you have your
Bye.
you have your thing so we can talk to with these.
Hey guys, I'm gonna get my
Yeah,
tablet.
yeah.
So
Okay.
then I can show you.
Yeah, go ahead.
You gotta get this door fixed.
I know, eh? Just leave it open. Yeah, just leave it open. Okay, we're gonna get a new song. Okay, we're gonna show them one more song. Let's you know which one? Remember my Papa
Hey,
song,
I
"The
have
Drive
a
at
good
5"?
I have a good one.
We have to play a ham radio song.
Are these your songs you make?
Yeah,
Oh.
that's okay. We'll do one of yours on a different video, but right now we're gonna do "The Drive at 5." Okay. Be here on the mic. It's "The Drive at 5." All the world goes to the boat, the way I grew. Bop. Ham radio waves, reaching out like a charm. Big East car, that's right. Local folks. This mobile radio fun is just so darn sweet. B.E., rockin' out, bringing the girls home. Checking the app, we don't mind. He's the ultimate fellow. Never on the porch, just grooving inside. With the voice pouring out, ain't nobody lying. Tell him, summer breeze, run us down, feel the vibe. Bring your beans and heat on this long, cool ride. All alive. From all the dogs getting the soul with the shaking from your man making us all home. All right. Okay, folks. Good night from Preston and Paw Paw. We'll see y'all later. 7-3, and yeah, we're out of here. Bye bye.